Hello, family. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Bethany Health Services. Dr. D here. It's September 4. September is Suicide Prevention Month, like I have been talking about. And I said every day of this month, we're going to talk about suicide. And again, I do want to apologize, we're a little late. It's some things against or above your control, and when you can control, you let it go. So thank you for viewing, thank you for watching, welcome. Today we're going to talk about the types of suicide. We're going to talk about the types of suicide. Family, I want to tell you that the number of suicide cases, they are significantly increasing due to increased stress that people face. We take the term suicide too lightly without even understanding that suicide itself has different reasoning and intent behind that action. When someone is in that crisis mode, the intent is different, and it's so different for everybody. Each individual is different. And remember the last time I said, it takes a village to raise a child, so it takes a community to care about someone, to care about anyone. It takes a community. So let's come in as a community, because this suicide crisis is not only for one race, for one gender, for one religion. And yes, religion, even in the church, people find it, I can't take it, and they end it. So we are bringing that awareness such that as a community, we can bring an end to this. We can help someone. I read, according to Emil Durkheim, this is a psychologist, the term suicide applies to all cases of death that results either directly or indirectly from a positive or a negative action of that person, who knows that when I do this, it will produce the result that they're expecting, which is death. And we are trying to prevent that. She identifies four types. There are four types of suicide. During my research, I was surprised to even see that I really four different types. People who commit suicide fall in one of these categories. The first one is egoistic. That is coming from the absence of social integration. What that means is it's very common by people who feel like they are social outcasts. They see themselves as being so alone or as an outsider. They don't find their place in society. You feel like I don't fit, and I have problems adjusting to groups. That is when you see those people who are egoistic in that form. They receive little or no social care. Family, it takes a community, it takes a village. You see this? Little or no social care. When you make people feel that you don't care about them, and to these people, suicide is the only solution, to free them from this loneliness and excessive individualization where I feel so alone. Remember, September 1, we said three things will lead people to see suicide as the only solution. One was feeling alone, loneliness. I feel so alone. And two was being a burden to society. And three was hopelessness. So, therefore, people who commit egoistic suicide, that's those people who feel I don't fit. The second type of suicide is the altruistic suicide. So, what does that mean? This one occurs when the social group involvement is too high. Mhm. I feel so alone, and now the social group is making me, they want to integrate into that group such that they are willing to sacrifice their own lives in order to fulfill some of the obligations of that group. So these people, they kill themselves because they see the collective benefit of the group, or for the cause of the group. Example of these people, for instance, during World War II, there's research that some Japanese kamikaze pilots, they were the infamous ones who saw themselves as, I have to kill for the sake of that war. Take, for instance, we are in September, we had 9/11 in the US, where hijackers took over the plane and crashed it into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and even the field in Pennsylvania. Why? Because they saw the cause. This group here of this altruistic suicide, this is where you hear suicide bombers. This is where they belong. So they believe in that cause, whatever it is that they think, oh, I need to do this. And then the third category is the anomic suicide. Anomic suicide is caused by lack of social regulation, meaning this one occurs when, during that high level of stress and frustration, that's the lack of social regulation, people think, I just need to end it all. It stems from sudden or unexpected changes in situations. This, for instance, you have people who are suffering from extreme financial loss, and or the disappointment or the stress that people face due to different situations. People can even lose someone's and feel that social lack of social regulation. And then they think the only way out of this situation, I don't want to be a burden to society. I don't want to be a burden to my family. I don't want to be a burden. Remember, there were instances where people lost money in the trading, and guess what they thought? The only solution is end this pain because of the stress. This is the anomic type. This is where people are so stressed and they think, no way out, end it, and that's it, the solution. But hello, that's not the solution, because that creates more problems for those loved ones who are left behind. The fourth and final type of suicide is the fatalistic type. The fatalistic type occurs when people are kept under tight regulations. They are placed under extreme rules and high expectations, which remove the person the sense of self or individuality. Society plays that on people. Slavery, of course, slavery, yes, that's an example. High persecution, slavery of the African Americans and other people, even the Indians, there was slavery, there. High persecution of the Jews and other groups. These are examples of fatalistic suicide, where people feel there's no way out. Another example of fatalistic suicide where they see it a lot, for instance, in South Korea, celebrities are put under strict regulations, even in the US. I remember long ago where to be a model, you have to be a size zero, and that stress on them. There was a case, of course, where a singer in South Korea committed suicide due to exhaustion from trying to keep up with the societal rules on what she needs to do. Do you see the relationship with what society can do? In 2017, for instance, Lee, this is an author who reported there was a celebrity, Kim Jong Un, who ended his life due to severe depression and the pressure of being in the spotlight, because he felt that he could not fulfill the expectations of society. And there's so many celebrities that have done that in the US. And not only in the US, this is a worldwide thing. And that is why I keep saying suicide is a worldwide, it's a national problem. It's not just for celebrities, it's not just for a particular race. Everyone face that challenge. And that is why my family, I'm telling you this, it is a community affair. With suicide being a community affair, it takes a community to care. It takes a village to raise a child. So it takes a community to care about people such that we can decrease this alarming rise in suicide. Do you know that suicide even increased amongst teenagers during the COVID years? Not only teenagers, but even adults. because of the pandemic. So these different types of suicide I bring to you is for us to get to understand the intent behind the action. Why would someone do this? The greatest cause of this: stress, anxiety, depression. This is all what we call mental disorders. So if you are feeling that stressed, there's a way out. Remember the three things we talked about that will lead someone to find themselves in that little box that you think this is the only answer. Loneliness, I feel so alone. Being a burden, oh, I don't want to be a burden to my family, to the community, to this, to that, where your mind is playing that trick that you are a burden. And then with the hopelessness, there's no hope. This is the only thing I can do. So, therefore, suicide is the only answer in that moment that the individual is seeing it and thinking, this is it. How can we help? I said today we're going to talk about the four types. We're not just going to leave it there. We're going to give four steps, action steps that we can take as a community to save a life. Number one is ask them, are they okay? If you see someone so quiet, changing behaviors, it just takes a little, are you okay? Do you know, one day I was walking in the grocery market and I asked somebody, I just saw them and thought my spirit moved to say, talk to this person. I said, are you okay? They just burst into tears. Because sometimes you can see it, even in a total stranger, you can see that someone is in pain. And all they needed that day was a hug to say, somebody cares. Somebody cares. So please don't be shy. When you see your loved ones, you see your friends, you see your neighbor, whatever, just say, are you okay? Sometimes they just need a listening ear. They don't need you to condemn them, point fingers, and say, oh, you should have, you should have. Don't give no advice on what they should do or not do. Just be there. Show that loving shoulder for them to cry on. Show that loving shoulder for them to just lean on. We all need someone to lean on. I need someone to lean on. You need someone to lean on. So I am telling you, family, step number one, ask if they're okay. Step number two, which leads us to what we started talking about, listen and be there for them. No questions asked. Someone said, I am stressed. Oh, my dear, are you all right? And listen. What do they have to share? It's not your place to take it and go tell person A, person B, person C, person D. Just listen and be there. Be there when they call. When somebody calls you on the phone, answer the phone, and because maybe that one call could have saved them. That one last call. I've heard so many people say, I wished I answered when they call because at that moment they needed you. So just listen and be there. Step number three, help them to connect to help lines. Help them to connect. Remember, we've been talking about the suicide crisis line 988 if you are in continental USA, and other countries, other regions have their numbers. Find it wherever you live. I'm sorry, family, I can't find it for everywhere. Find it, know it. Tell someone, call this line. If you live in continental USA, 988. You can text, you can call, you can even go online, 988help.org. There is someone there 24/7 that can listen to you. These are trained mental health counselors who are trained to listen and help and get help for you if you need it. So, what we need to do is get that help that they need. Get that help that they need immediately. If someone calls me and say, I'm going to do this now, I'm going to get help, call 911 in my case and send help to them while I stay on the phone with them. That brings me to step number four, stay connected. When somebody say, I've it, don't just say, okay, let me come and hang up the phone. No, Stay connected. Stay with them on the phone physically until a trained uh, uh, personnel can come to help. And then after that part, your job is not over. This job is never over. It takes a community, it takes all of us. So after, if they've been hospitalized and be out or whatever the case, if they're seeing counselor, call and check up on these people. That's that staying connection, because we are holding each other accountable for our actions. We are holding each other in that special place to tell that person I care. They told you today, I'm feeling down. You hung up the phone and forget about them till next year. How you care? For real? I was sick and you call me today and end it there? Please call again. Call again next week to check. Call again tomorrow. How you doing? How is it going? Because sometimes someone say I'm sick, it's not physical. Mental health is not physical. You don't see it on the face. You don't put it on your forehead. And that is why you see when someone has ended it all, you hear somebody say, they were just fine. I saw them yesterday. Are you sure? Did you listen? Did you stay with them? Did you give them the love they need? Did you give them that listening ear? Did you say, my brother, my sister, my friend is okay? Because you know what? There's always a solution. This life is better than not being here. When that happens, when this evil, I call it evil, when suicide, that is the evil, the suicide, not the person. That person at that point, they're sick. They're sick. It's a disease. When that has happened, it's not just the person that is gone. What about those of us that are living? What happens to us? What happens to us? What happens to the family? What happens to the friends? What happens to, if it was a child, the parents? What happened if it was a parent, the children? What happened if it was a sister, the brother, the siblings? What happens to all of these people that are connected to that one individual? Do you think that's the only life that's destroyed? Hello? No. A whole bunch of lives have been changed forever. So let us prevent it. Let's end the link. Let's break the chain. Let's break that link in the chain. I'm challenging you today to reach out to someone. Let us prevent this from happening. Let us save a life. It is Suicide Prevention Month, September. So what that means is the whole of September, we will work as a community. We will work as one family, as one group to prevent someone from taking a life. So I encourage you to share this video, talk to a loved one, talk to people, reach out to us. If you need mental health counseling, you need mental health, reach out to us at Bethany Health Services. Our phone number is 603-601-4766, 603-601-4766. You can also text us at 603-852-7772, 603-852-7772. You can reach us online at bethanyhs.com. Do you know why Bethany is a place of hope? That is where the resurrection took place. That is where Lazarus was resurrected in the Bible. If you are a Christian, that's hope. That's what it means. So reach out to us. We can get you the help that is needed when it's needed. Again, this is Dr. D with Bethany Health Services. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for listening. Share this video, reach out to a loved one, save a life, for life is better than anything else. And remember, you are important. You belong to this world. You belong to this society. You have a right to live and enjoy that liberty and freedom. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Convert it to your time zone and let's be here and be present. Thank you for watching and remain blessed.